your favorite scary movie? Just kidding. Hey, lovelies, what's up? Back with another spoiler-free movie reaction. Oh, and also I have a guest today. Welcome to the show. Surprise! It's Randy from one of my previous movie reactions joining us.
Greetings.
So, me and Randy, we saw Scream 5 when it first came out, and here we are a year later watching Scream 6 together, so I only thought it'd be befitting if he joined me in this reaction. So, hopefully it will be a good one, and hopefully we'll give you guys enough insights that are not spoilers to leave you to decide whether you want to see it or not. So let's start off with you, Randy. What were your thoughts on this movie, on the sixth film?
Well, honestly, I'm not a big horror fan in general, but I am familiar with the Scream franchise and some of the horror tropes of the slasher films. And yes, I know my name is Randy, and the Scream franchise has a character named Randy, who's also a movie buff.
And that means that he's gotta watch out, because he could be next on the list.
But in general, I felt like since we saw Scream 5 compared to Scream 6, I would say Scream 5 was better personally for me.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like it was an homage to the first film because I do remember seeing some of it, the original film, way back when it came out, and I usually remember watching, I think, on TBS or wherever channel I used to watch it on, or maybe I rented it off Blockbuster because if you guys remember what Blockbuster was, it was awesome. But it does feel like the Scream 5 was a good throwback to the original was.
Mm-hmm.
This one felt like it was a sequel to that one, but it just didn't feel like the grandiose of the film franchise. I like the way it paid tribute to the other films, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It was a nice Easter egg. There was, if you didn't see the promo, there is Hayden Panettiere. She came back from Scream 4.
Which Kirby,
who we all assumed that would die in Scream 4, but, well, spoiler alert.
She survived.
Well, spoiler alert, she lived. If the trailer didn't spoil that for you, I'm guessing you guys should check it out.
Didn't see the trailer.
Yeah. Thanks for covering for that, for my part. But, like, yeah. But honestly, I felt like it was a sequel film to the film, Scream 5. It had some stuff that I did like, but overall, it wasn't really better than Scream 5 for me. Scream 6 was like, it's apart, basically. It was a mediocre compared to the first Scream 1. But overall, I thought it was okay film. It was good to see Courtney Cox again.
Mm-hmm.
She did a good job as Gale again. The characters I thought were likable, especially Gina Ortega, Melissa Barrera. I thought those two were very solid leads. The supporting cast was mostly likable. Some characters around the show, the film were really cool, I guess. They did do the whole meta thing, but I felt
what thing?
The meta.
Oh yeah, of
the
course
meta,
they can't do it without the metas.
The meta
Scream
thing
would not be without it.
As the Scream film was, the meta thing, it worked, but sometimes I felt like it was just like, you're accurate, but you're not dead point accurate, but you're like in the close around the target.
In the ballpark.
In the ballpark, there you go. But that's what I felt about the film. What about you?
What were my thoughts on it? First and foremost, I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't like the best out of the Scream movies. And definitely I would have to say I more so did enjoy the fifth one too, but I thought this one was still pretty good for what they were trying to make it be in a way. Because one thing is for sure, the idea to have Ghostface in New York, oh yeah, I was 100% behind that when I first heard it, because I'm like, I can only imagine, because we only seen Ghostface in the suburbs, suburbia Ghostface. Now to have New York City Ghostface and possibly be a New Yorker, that is different, because there's no telling where you would go with it until, we saw the film. And so, and also on top of that, to have Hayden Panettiere back as Kirby, I was happy because I felt like in the fourth film she was killed very wastefully and unjustly. After trying her hardest, she avoided the guy that turned out to be the killer in that film until she was starting to try to give in to him liking her, and only to find out that he was just like a douchebag and a complete butthole because she rejected him and not wanted to be involved with him. Like, seriously, what the heck? And also the Carpenter sisters, you know, Jenna and Melissa. I was happy to see them again. I thought they both were still bringing their game on as these two characters. And but however, I felt like there was still a little lack in like character development with them, because it was like it still was the same shtick, if you know what I mean. That Melissa's character, she is constantly, she's already dealing with the fact that her father was a serial killer, Billy Loomis, and also now she's having to deal with the fact that people are telling her because she is the daughter of Billy Loomis, she ultimately has his murderous blood running through her veins. And I'm like, okay, but is she going to do it, or is she not, and she's gonna avoid that legacy to the best of her abilities? Jenna is Tara, and Melissa is Samantha.
Or Sam.
Yeah, Sam. And so with Tara, she is just sadly the sister that gets caught up in this mess because her half sister is the daughter to Billy Loomis. And it's kind of like, okay, so where are we fully going with this here? Let's talk about the other cast members that we have here. So we have Mindy and Chad.
Yeah.
They're the brother and sister and the niece and nephew to Randy from the previous Scream films.
They were good. I felt like, okay, overall, I felt like they were a solid cast.
Mm-hmm.
The cast from the previous film, I thought they did a good job bringing them back for this film,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought they were likable as they were
Pretty
before. But the film felt like they still were like
being used as plot devices more so.
They were basically characters you would I guess they were filling the scene. Basically, they were there for the scene. You were focused on them for a bit, but you didn't really care for them when they moved away from the film.
Yeah.
When the film transitioned to other characters, you were sometimes like, okay, what they're main characters, right? Oh wait, I thought they were the main characters. Because like when I see Kirby or from like Hayden Panettiere or Gail's character come back to film, I feel like there's a strong presence when
Yes.
like, hey look, she's Gail, and hey look, it's Kirby. They're back in the film,
and we're happy to have them back.
Yeah, and they feel like they really had their moments to shine, and they really brought more character to this role. This one, they did act great. They did play their parts well, like they did last film, but I feel like they're still in the last film phase, I guess. We're not really attached to them strong enough, except for the first two sisters.
Yeah, the Carpenter sisters.
Yeah, the Carpenter sisters.
Samantha and
Tara. They basically had their own. They're solid leads, I guess.
Yeah.
And kudos to them for carrying the franchise when this is the first film without Neve Campbell as the lead. Really
yeah, she wasn't here. Sidney Prescott is not here.
But yeah, she's not in this film, but she does. But she has a presence.
Her presence is lingering throughout the film, but she's.
But kudos to Samantha and Tara for carrying the film for them.
Mm-hmm.
As a
sister, as a girl duo,
as family.
Yeah, family. And is also what this movie is about family, and also making your own family out of what you have with your friends or anyone who's experienced what you experienced, kind of way. I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. But there's also a thing I realized. Did you notice about this thing about the whole whodunit trend? It feels like it's coming back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
Like a lot of murder mystery films, they're coming back now. And since we're watching so much of those stuff, I feel like my brain's kind of used to like, okay, who's the killer in the Scream franchise? Who's the Scream in this film? Mm-hmm. Is it that guy? That guy? Oh, it's definitely that guy. And I feel like sometimes it's too cliche. Sometimes you can predict it. Sometimes...
Yeah, because the predictions are starting to feel kind of obvious. Because now that we know the rules, and if you know the rules, then you kind of are like, well, then who in the world can you trust? Because if it's someone that's close to you, or someone that's not close to you but is sort of behind the scenes, then it's like, then where does that leave room for actual surprises?
Yeah, what's the actual mystery, I guess? You don't think about it. You're like, you're not invested. You're just solving the mystery. You're just watching a movie basically trying to solve the mystery in general. And I feel like kind of that deteriorates the film for me, I guess. Because I feel like, oh, since I'm trying to figure out who's the killer, all right, I'm not really paying attention to the story in general.
Yeah, because it's so formulaic that it feels like it's becoming predictable. But it still doesn't take away from the brilliance of the film.
Oh, yeah.
And the brilliance of how they set it up and how it keeps going on.
There's the tension build-up is much better than in this film than it was in the fifth film. The fifth film, you can say, oh look, there's a character building up, but when they hold the whole building up, like the train sequence, there's a sense of real tension. It's like even if you see Ghostface coming, you still feel it. It's like the scene from Jaws. You know he's coming. You just don't know when he's gonna show up.
Exactly.
And he's just like, is he here? Is he there? Is he where is he?
And then whoop, there you go.
It's,
boom.
It's not just a simple jump scare. She's gonna jump by the way. No, they're building up. It's like, okay, you see he's there. You know he's there. He's just know. You don't know how he's gonna do it. And it's just like, oh, that's moments like that and stuff like that.
That you love.
That I feel like really worked. And also, let's give a quick shout out to Samara Weaving.
Oh yeah, Samara Weaving. And we'll get to her in a bit. Okay, let's talk about Ghostface in this one. Yeah, the one that we definitely come for when we go see Scream. So, what were your views on Ghostface, Randy?
I thought the Ghostface stuff was. I thought the kills were well, they were gory like the fifth film. Like I mean, like gory,
they were gory
and creative. Like I gotta admit them to the directors for this.
But this one it felt like Ghostface was no longer holding back. Like he really relished in the killings when he is killing his victims.
So strategic, basically.
Yeah, very strategically. And also, you sort of see them, like the type of stabs that he leaves behind, which I don't think we normally would see them that much, like in the original trilogy. And so that was different. And also, Ghostface possibly being a New Yorker means that he knows how to maneuver in the city. It no longer is about, okay, I can do this in suburbia because it's easy to track down victims that I want to kill and then get inside their house or figure out a way to get inside their house. Now we're in the city where there's less space and a lot more people. And
speaking of people, did Ghostface ever really kill bystanders? Because I feel like he was killing he showed no mercy.
Yeah,
so even a casual bystander. There's a scene in the trailer. When they went to the bodega, right?
The bodega.
The bodega. He was killing people just for like, oh shoot, they're in his way. Okay, he gonna kill them.
Yeah,
it wasn't targeted like the previous films, right?
Yeah, so that's the thing. More of a higher body count, and it doesn't matter who dies. It can be an innocent bystander. It can be someone that wasn't involved and didn't try to jump in to get involved. He just kills because he's trying to get to his goal, which is the Carpenter sister,
and basically everyone who was
involved in the Woodsboro thing,
and the fifth film, the previous film.
Yeah, so nothing was stopping him, and also the clumsiness went out the door in this movie.
Yeah, the fight scenes in the film, while he did take hits, it felt more like genuine, real fight. Like when he gets hit, it feels like, okay, that's a real prop, that's a real fight scene. He's not he's not tripping over stuff. He sees you, he goes for you. It's more subtle, like when he slices people's heads off. But here's a good thing about the fight scenes in the movie: they didn't show the leads as basically damsels or incompetent. They legit fight back. Like there's legit fight scene with Chad and Tara. with Sam. They all generally like
and Mindy.
They all threw legit punches. And Gail too.
Gail, she was not holding back whatsoever.
I mean, she's been through like this 6 times already, or 5 times, or 6, 9 times now. So she's used to this stuff. Like I'm
ready when he comes back. kind of vibe.
But there's that notion, and there's basically the whole fight scenes felt more realistic.
Mm-hmm.
While they are gruesome and gory, and he does have the upper advantage, he's like, it's more like the heroes are like, okay, here we go again. We're gonna take you down, but this time, let's see how well they can hold their own.
Yeah.
Which I feel like does add some sort of realness, connection, and horror to it. Because I feel like, okay, if these guys if they can hold their own, and Ghostface also managed to overpower them, that just shows you how much more scary he is.
Yeah.
He's able to actually take on your average Joe, basically.
Exactly.
It's not just like, oh, I'm gonna target you because you're just a character in the film, so I gotta kill you. No, it's because I can literally beat you up and kill you the way.
And I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't give 2 cents about it. And also on top of that, the guy that voices Ghostface, Roger L. Jackson?
Yeah, Roger something.
Yeah, he's back as the voice, and he is brilliant as ever. The same charm, same charisma, and the same scariness that comes with his voice as Ghostface.
And he was also Mojo Jojo.
Yeah, if you want to add that from the Powerpuff Girls. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, how you can compare the two, man? Like, it's like,
you can't.
It's like, hey, Mojo Jojo, I love your character. And actually, you did Scream too? Oh, wait.
Yeah. I'm Ghostface.
Yeah. I felt like they were good. They dressed the whole, they reference all these other horror films, genre films, franchise, and stuff like that. But they talk about stuff like, hey, this stuff in this movie is important to this stuff because it literally came up with its own lore. And kudos to that. I'm sure Wes Craven would have been proud of that too. Good for him.
Kudos for who?
Wes Craven.
Oh, okay, yes. Rest in peace, Wes Craven. And also, back to Samara Weaving, it was so nice to see her in this film. It was actually a very lovely surprise to both of us because she actually worked with these directors before in a film called Ready or Not. She was the main character, and in this film, it was just nice because people were wondering if she was going to be in one of the Scream films, and so here she is. So what did you think about her character, Randy, for the most that we were able to get out of her?
I thought she was good, and like it was one of the few times I actually saw her with a real accent.
Oh yeah, that was very interesting to see her and hear her in her Australian accent.
Her natural accent, basically. But she's a very talented actress. I hear she's got very good skills. She's a very talented actress.
And she is amazing. I'm sure Uncle Hugo Weaving would be proud of her.
Yeah.
In case y'all didn't know.
Yeah, and I hope that she could be on the rise to become a Scream Queen herself.
Possibly, if she isn't already.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like all the cast, in general, they were doing a great job.
Yeah, all the cast, they were working their butt off in this film. So, thank you guys for being a part of this franchise and bringing us the goods on your acting.
Cheers to you guys.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10, Randy, what would you give this movie?
Probably I'll give it a 6. It wasn't my really favorite film, really. It was a decent film, and I enjoyed it for what it was. It had a lot of good stuff. The acting was good. The characters were likable. Mm-hmm. But the overall story, compared to the other films and compared to the other Screams, well, at least just compared to the previous Scream film, I felt like it just was subpar. So, what was your opinion about this movie?
You mean my rating?
Yeah.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, I have to give it an 8. I thought it was pretty good. I felt like there was a lot to like about the film, even with the still not so great character development yet, and also some of the stuff that you find out in the film that I'm not spoiling. I thought it was kind of like just a little redundant, but at the same time I could go along with it. I could keep going along with the story that was being told. And also Ghostface, the update, I loved it. I enjoyed the update of Ghostface being in New York. So yeah, I'll give it an 8.
That's good to hear.
And the cast was good.
I guess you could say they made the audience scream with joy.
Yes, very much scream with joy.
Or laugh out loud, I guess. It was a good blend of both the genres, I guess.
Because there still was the
Humor,
comedy.
a bit of humor, comedy.
Along with the scares and the thrills and like, oh my god, moments.
And a gruesome death, by the way, man. They don't really... These directors, they need to show their character death. I mean, they don't hold
They
back.
know how to film death or film the kills.
Yeah.
I'll give them that.
All right.
So, thank you for joining me, Randy, on this spoiler-free movie reaction. You were awesome. And will you come back for another one some other time?
Yeah, I hope so. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem. And also, I will be coming back to give you guys a spoiler-free movie reaction on 65. So, look out for that video coming up in the next few days or so. So, till then, lovelies, I'll see you guys on the next one.
Ready, Wildy. Boom.
Boom.